Ah, the International Baccalaureate, the IB. I mean, we all know the reputation, right? It's known for being incredibly demanding, super stressful. But here's the thing, what are the real lessons? The ones that actually stick with you long, long after those exams are over? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today.
And there's this one line that just nails it. The IB is tough, but it's also transformative. And that transformation, it's not about the grades you get on a piece of paper. It's so much bigger than that. It's like a fundamental shift in how you see everything, how you take on challenges, how you look at the world around you.
So, that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? With all that pressure, all those late nights, what's the real point of it all? What are the things that actually stick around? Long after you've forgotten every single detail of your extended essay. Let's find out. All right, so the first major takeaway, and this is a big one, it's not about memorizing a bunch of dates or formulas. Nope. It's something way more fundamental. It's literally about rewiring your brain. It's about learning how to think. See, the whole point isn't just to cram your head full of information. It's about this one powerful idea. You've learned how to think, not what to think. And that's a huge difference. It's a distinction that changes absolutely everything. Okay, so what does that actually look like day to day? Well, think about it like this. On one hand, you have traditional studying, which is a lot of memorizing and repeating stuff back. That's learning what to think. But the IB way, that's all about pushing you to analyze, to question everything, to build your own arguments. That's learning how to think. It's really the difference between just sitting there passively taking in information versus being an active participant in your own learning. Huge difference. Now, all this deep, critical thinking, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens under some pretty intense conditions. And that leads us straight into our second key lesson, mastering pressure. And yeah, I know, pressure can sound like a bad thing, but the IB really frames it as one of the most valuable kinds of training you could ever get. And this is where it connects to the real world, big time. We're not just talking about surviving school here. The ability to perform when you're under stress, that's a skill that employers, universities, you name it, they are actively looking for that. So the IB basically becomes this incredible training ground for your future professional life.
And oh boy, is this pressure real? I mean, think about it. You're juggling 6 different high-level subjects. Then you've got the 3 core requirements piled on top, that monster research paper, the extended essay, theory of knowledge, which is a whole class just on thinking. And you're supposed to do all of that while having some kind of life with extracurriculars? It's an insane balancing act. Just learning how to manage that is a massive lesson all by itself. Okay, so what happens when you're forced to manage all that stuff at once? Well, it kind of forces you to zoom out, to look beyond your next deadline. And that brings us to lesson number 3, seeing the bigger picture, learning to understand the world in a much, much broader context. It's really this idea that nothing just happens in a vacuum. The whole point is to build this sense of empathy and awareness so you can start to see how different ideas and events are all connected, all across the globe. And the IB curriculum is actually built to do this. You've got theory of knowledge, or TOK, which really messes with your head by making you question how you even know the things you think you know. Then there's CAS, that's creativity, activity, service, which forces you to get out there and actually engage with your community. All these pieces, they're not separate. They work together to build this genuinely global mindset. But what happens when you've got this global mindset, you're thinking critically, and you still fail? What then? Well, that brings us to our final lesson, and honestly, this might be the most important one of all, the power of recovery. I think every single IB student knows this moment. It's completely inevitable. Maybe it's a presentation that just totally bombs, or an essay that you pour your heart into and it just doesn't work, or a test you were sure you were ready for. It doesn't matter what it is. At some point, everyone hits that wall. And here's the crucial thing to understand. Failing isn't the lesson, not at all. The real lesson is what you do next. It's learning that you can recover from a setback. You figure out what went wrong and how to improve. And this is the big one, you find that resilience inside you to just keep going. That's a lesson that school doesn't always teach you, but life demands it from you every single day. So when you put all these pieces together, what do you actually have? Well, what you've got is a lifelong toolkit.
Think of it as this four-part system that you can carry with you literally forever. Step 1, you learn how to think critically. Step 2, you learn how to use that skill under serious pressure. Step 3, all that pressure forces you to develop a bigger global awareness. And finally, step 4, you build the resilience to get back up when things inevitably go wrong. That, right there, that is the hidden curriculum of the IB program.
Because look, in the end, the grades, the scores, they fade. They just become a line on a resume somewhere. So the real question to ask yourself is this: what's the lesson that you'll carry with you forever? Whether it's from the IB or from any other tough experience in your life, what's in your toolkit?